Well, hello there. It is week 3 of our semester. Looks like, if I remember correctly, this is check-in week for me as the professor, kind of looking at grades and seeing if, hey, is there any students on my worry list? But little spoiler alert, if you try your best in these discussion posts, which remember, they are college level discussion posts. I know I've put that comment on a couple people's just to remind them, like, hey, this is a college class. Yes, it's all online. Yes, it might be a little different than normal classes, but it is still a college class, and I need you to fully answer it in college levels. But if you try that, do your best, do the quizzes, turn in the work each week, you're going to pass just fine. All right. This stuff is really fun to listen to or learn about and really dig into. So do me a favor. You turn in the work, I'll grade it. And these little check ins, you're going to pass and nothing to worry about. But like I said, it is week 3 and it's our final week on the Romantic era. This time, it's about the arts. All right, week 1 is kind of about the drawings, the paintings. And while, yes, the artists are kind of brought up here, it's just kind of introducing the Romantic era. Week 2 was all about those heroes, those larger than life people. Now it's about the artists, the sculptors, and music. Now, when you look at all of these people, this era in general, it's about large feelings. It's about having that ideas. It's having those emotions really express and go above and beyond everything else. So when we look at the art, when we look at the music, I want you to analyze and look at how in depth it is. I want you to look at and analyze how much feeling kind of goes with it, so to speak. Well, let's get started. Just like everything else, the arts show what the era is all about. And what was the early part of this romantic time period? Napoleon Bonaparte. You can see it right there. One of the foremost heroes of the age. So he was in a lot of paintings, a lot of sculptures. He was kind of like a main subject. And when you look at the focuses, were those heroes? But what comes with heroes but suffering? So you'll see photos like on this. This one's a little better. Napoleon right there, and the suffering of the people around him, the suffering of the hero to gain that power and death. Here, Spanish painter, if I remember correctly, Goya, talking about the sacrifices that his people went through while Napoleon was conquering. You can see once again death and suffering there. It's all about making those major emotions that already people have into something bigger, something more dramatic. Because once again, you see here, here's the heroes crossing the water. Here's the wrath of the Medusa. So it's like all of that over the top, deep feelings, having emotion watching or looking at it, or at least the painter having it when they do that. So those painters go big. They show their feelings and they sensualize things. In other words, they might make it seem more dramatic than it actually is, which is just kind of common, not knowledge, but common tendencies with artists is to take that thing and make it big, make it huge. And part of it was the sculptures. We got this sculpture from France. It was a gift and trying to get goodwill and all that stuff. And so it was that liberty, that idea of rising above the guiding light, the rules, stuff like that, to step forth and like, look at it. It's beautiful. And so the sculptures were just like the paintings, larger than life, big. You can see the sculptures right here, very similar to Greece and Rome in the ancient time periods. Definitely had influences on that. That was very neoclassic. But when we jump, and once you hear very Greek and Roman, but once we get to the buildings, the architecture, that was more medieval time. The spires, the points, so to speak, kind of shone through. And it was kind of a different look for Europe in regards to that as art style. It was more in the Middle East type of things, where more like the Islamic than the Christian faith. They kind of promoted these domes and spikes. But during this time, Europe, which was more of a Christian based faith, started like, ooh, we like this. This is starting to look really cool. And it just showed how styles blend together. You can't talk about art without talking about music. And that was just what happened in the Romantic style as well. You've got Beethoven just taking on his sympathies, his orchestras are starting to get bigger, louder, more dramatic. You got the instruments being in there, and you see the different flow between everything. And he's starting to really lay his genius on the line and showing you can blend these styles. You can blend the music together. There is Mr. Beethoven right there. And it's just kind of showing that it's being very dramatic, going loud to soft, making you have those emotions once again. Let's see here. When we look at music, it was that program. It had the plan, it had the orchestra following the conductor. It was kind of like follow those beats, follow the whoops, we don't want to go there yet. Like have that noise, but then Chopin kind of comes in and he's like impromptus, impromptus, improvise. All right, now it's starting to let's feel the music. Let the artist itself really make those decisions and kind of grow from there. The arpeggios, if anyone's seen the Aristocats, you know your scales and your arpeggios are starting to fill in and really take place on it. Here, once again, looking at the architecture, but ballet, dance, opera, meaning beautiful music or beautiful singing. And that's basically what this kind of shows is the idea that you show feelings, you show culture through all forms of art, in the heroes, in the writings, in the paintings, in the sculptures, in music, in dance, and everything in between. So I'll stop sharing real quick, come to you live, and kind of wrapping up this week, short video, but have the reading chapters 29 in book 5. Short chapter, good chapter. You have a quick little discussion post. You got a quick little quiz, and you're going to be good to go. Yes, I know Monday is Labor Day. I'm still posting this on a Monday. Things are still due on Tuesday, or sorry, not Tuesday, on Wednesday and Sunday. It's just the normal routine. This is college. You can easily get it done. I'm not asking too much. But if you have questions, please email me. Feel free to ask. I'm here to help. But until then, good luck.